Welcome to Bus Driver Life. My name is Kiwan. I've been driving buses for a long time. I've driven school buses, and I'm currently driving this transit bus behind me. Well, I'm not driving it right now. I'm standing outside of it, but you get what I'm saying. In this episode, we're going to discuss bus driver salary again. So many people want to know, how much do bus drivers make in the US? Well, the thing is, there's no flat rate. It depends on the state, the city, or whatever location you're in. It varies. So I'm gonna show you some concrete examples of what bus drivers are making, from the pay to the benefits in different locations. I can't show you every locations? I can't show you every location because there are just too many of them, but I'm gonna show you a few so that you can have a good idea of what some bus drivers are making and how much it varies depending on the location. So let's get started. So first we have RTA, Riverside Transit Agency. So all of this information that you're gonna see is actually pretty current. So bus driver hiring event Saturday, June 15th. This is 2021. Get an interview and job offer the same day. Okay, so they are aggressively hiring. Earn $17.14 with progression to $26.37 hourly. Paid training, no experience required, and great benefits. Next up, we have AC Transit, which is in the Bay Area, like in the Oakland, California area. So not too far from where I'm at in the Sacramento area, about hour and a half away. So it says here, become a bus operator and drive towards your dream job. Bus operators earn $22.11 per hour after training and can potentially make up to $31.57 per hour after 4 years. Employee monthly contribution for medical, dental, and vision is a flat rate of $120 with unlimited number of qualified dependents. Next up, we have Miami-Dade.gov. So this is in Florida. Miami-Dade County is seeking applicants for part-time bus operators. So that is another thing to keep in mind. Some positions are only part-time, some are only full-time. So if you're looking for part-time, but they're only offering full-time, you got to think about that, and vice versa, of course. And some transit agencies are going to start you off part-time, and then over the years, over time, you will work up to being a full-time employee. So you have to keep that in mind. But let's continue reading this. The deadline to apply is February 8th. Well, that was 2021, earlier this year. They want you to have a high school diploma or a GED, photo ID such as a Florida driver's license, and proof of having passed the general knowledge, air brake, and passenger transport test sections of the CDL exam. So those selected can earn as they learn. Trainees earn $15.49 per hour. And then after the, a 9-week training program, the pay rate increases to $16.32 per hour. So you see, we've went from California to Florida, and there's a huge difference in the pay. So like I said, there's no flat rate for what bus drivers get in the United States of America. It just depends on which part of the country you are in. Next up, we have the county of Placer. Or is it Placer? Placer County. This is really close to Sacramento, so it's kind of in the Sacramento area, but outside of Sacramento. But it's in the general area, and so this is in California. And as you can see, they have a starting salary of $16.86, and it goes up to $21.05. And this is permanent full-time and permanent part-time. So they're hiring full-time and part-time. And this is like a smaller bus company, a very small area compared to like an AC Transit, which is like a huge transit system serving a really large area. Next up, let's go to the East Coast. We have New Jersey Transit. They are hiring for bus operators. Looking for a career? Drive for us. Their hourly rate is up to $31.10. Exceptional medical, dental, vision, and prescription coverage, pay time off, pension plan, plus 457 tax deferred savings plan, and life insurance. And last but not least, we are looking at Kingston Transit. We are hiring 30 new bus operators. Successful applicants will receive one-on-one paid training. Guaranteed 18 to 24 hours a week with the ability to work up to 40 hours a week at a starting wage of $24.91 per hour. So you can apply now and you can drive this bus. I guess the bus that they have on the picture, but that's not an actual bus. So I don't think you can drive that bus, but I think they have buses that look like that, that you can drive.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
So when considering a bus company to drive for, a few things that I will keep in mind is what is the cost of living in the particular region that I will be driving in, because sometimes the salary can say this and it's like, that looks really good, but the cost of living is like way up here. So it's like your salary looks good on paper, but when it's time to pay for stuff in the real world, it's like, oh, this isn't enough. Another thing to think about is mandatory or voluntary overtime. Most transit systems, especially in medium to large cities, even small towns actually, will have some overtime. Where I work at, it's voluntary. However, there's tons of people volunteering for the overtime.
You ain't lying.
But then you have other places where they are forced to work overtime. So yes, it's gonna be great for your paycheck, but horrible for your personal life because you don't have a choice if you're gonna be able to have your actual days off. So you have to look into that. Also, as I mentioned earlier, part-time versus full-time, I already kind of went into that, so you want to think about that as well. And then just make sure you have a good idea of what the benefits include as far as sick days, floating holidays, vacation time, things of that nature. That is all very important, and those are all reasons why you take the job. It's not just the pay rate, it's also the benefits. You like to use the benefits. So you would like to know, what benefits do you have? So I found all of these places with a quick Google search. So if you are interested in driving a bus in your area, then just look it up and you should be able to find the website of the transportation system closest to you and find out what are they offering, if they're hiring, how do you apply, all that good stuff. Another thing to keep in mind also is check and see if your transit system is operating multiple modes of transportation, because some transit systems are not just operating buses. For example, where I work at, we have bus, we have light rail, we also have paratransit, and we have a dial-a-ride service, which is kind of like a bus Uber type of thing. You can order your ride, it'll come to your address and it picks you up and they charge you certain amounts. You also want to check out what are some opportunities for advancement. A lot of transit systems will hire supervisors from the driver. So there's a lot of drivers who are now supervisors. Funny thing about it, some of the supervisors act like they've never been drivers, but that's a different video. It's like, you were a driver before? You sure? You sure about that? Now, a lot of them are amazing as well. So just, like with any job, some of your bosses will be cool, some of them won't be cool. But anyway, you want to find out how you can advance. Some transit systems will hire drivers for supervisors, as I said, or trainers, and even some of the corporate positions could be available to you as well, especially for those drivers that have degrees or are currently pursuing a degree while they are driving a bus. So those are things to keep in mind, because let me tell you, some of those corporate positions pay really good, like really good, and really good benefits. It's a whole different world.
You ain't lying.
So let me know what you all think. Are you a person that's considering being a bus driver? Did this give you a little bit of information or an idea of what a bus driver can potentially make? If you'd like to support the channel, make sure you check out my Patreon. There's a link in the description. If you like some cool bus driver life gear, make sure you click the Teespring link in the description below. And I have a bunch of new designs on the way as well. And thank you so much for watching Bus Driver Life. Now you know how much bus drivers are paid. Well, at least a few of them. Goodbye.